everybody, it's Terry Gaines. For this project, I'm going to use a stamp set called Frame for You. It's in the 2020-2021 annual Stampin' Up! Catalog. I'm going to use the two greenery pieces, the small floral image, and one of the sentiments. Before I show you the card, I'm going to show you three other cards that I made using all of the same supplies with the exception of the ribbon. There's no ribbon on this card. I'm going to share with you. So this one is, these three are stamps, paper, and ink, and some embellishments. So there's a border down the edge and a sentiment on this card. This one, the card is rotated, the border's still along the edge. Added a floral sprig to this, a sentiment. This also has the floral sprig, just a little different layout. So if you are interested in the dimensions and the supplies for these three cards, in the bottom of this video, there will be a comment to my blog post that I will share a PDF that has all the measurements and instructions. But for this card, I'm going to step it up. I'm going to bring in the Everyday Label Punch for the card. I'm going to bring in the Tasteful Texture 3D folder, new in the annual catalog. And then I'm going to be using the Stitch So Sweetly dies for this card also. So let's get started. So for this card, you're going to need two pieces of Whisper White cardstock. They are both cut 3 3/4 by 5. One is going to be for the inside of the card and one is going to be for the outside of the card front. So I am going to stamp a border on the edge with this greenery piece. I could randomly stamp the edge, but I want to bring in the Stamparatus. The Stamparatus is an amazing tool that will help you do multiple cards or help you create borders because it has a hinged platform. You receive two of these platforms in and they hinge 1 inch over. You receive two magnets. I like to put painter's tape on my magnets to create a handle. They're very strong, keep them apart from each other. And otherwise they could collide really quickly. And the first time that happened to me, it did break. We sell replacements, but I don't want you to have to buy replacements. So just be sure to keep them separate. I also like using the small grid paper, and I took one of the pieces off of the grid paper and placed it in here to stamp on. So for this project, we're going to take this Whisper White cardstock, place it in the corner. Always make sure it's all the way in the corner, and take one of the magnets and place it to hold it in place. I'm leaving the other one here because I feel that that also helps the plate from not always touching. If I have excess ink on the plate, it's not going to hit my project paper. I am going to use Granny Apple Green for this color. So I'm going to take this image and make sure it is clean, and then I'm going to place it on my project paper. I want this border close to the edge. You can actually place yours in any vicinity you want. And I'm going to place this down, and then I'm going to pick it up with this platform, and then I'm going to take a peek at it. My goal is that this part of the image and this part of the image are fairly straight across, and I think it looked pretty good. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Now I'm going to just slide this over and make sure, hopefully I'm on the camera, is to ink up this part. Well, I know my Granny Apple Green ink pad has lots of ink on it. It's fairly new. I don't use it a lot. So I know that I have a good supply of ink on here. This is a distinctive stamp, meaning there's lots of little details in the image. I will bring the stamp set back. If you can see all the little detail in there, if you get too much ink on your stamp, it fills in that detail. It's not a bad thing, it still works okay, but if you want all that detail to show, take a plastic spoon and always use the rounded edge, never a sharp edge, and just move that ink. What I'm doing is I'm just moving it to a different area for the time being, so I can just tap, tap, tap to get a real light coverage. Now I'm going to bring this down, stamp, some pressure, and I'm going to bring that up. Hopefully you can see all the detail in that stamp image. Now I'm going to hinge it over a 1 inch increment, ink this up again, just tap, tap, tap. Every time you stamp, it's best, well, we should always just tap, tap, tap. Don't need to push a lot of ink in there. And then I'm going to hinge it one more time. Tap, tap, tap the ink on. just get a good light coverage. And I'm going to do this one more time to carry it all the way off the paper. That actually is spaced pretty well, but I want this to carry off the edge of the bottom of the card. So there we go. So I would, we need to stamp both of these, one for the inside, one for the outside. And if you stamp one and you're not as happy with it as you are the other one, save that one for the inside of the card. So we're going to just pretend that I am all done and I've stamped both of them. I'm going to take the chamois and just pick it up and clean off the stamp, because I need to move it to a clear block for additional stamping for this project. So we are done with the stamparatus once we've stamped both of those pieces. But just like the cooking shows, I've got one already stamped up. So now we're going to finish our stamping before we continue. So I'm going to open up the Highland Heather ink pad, and I'm going to take the little floral image, and again, tap, tap, tap. You just want the ink on the surface, and I'm going to randomly stamp this on both sides of that greenery and put light, even pressure. And this is a lighter color, and it just picks up all those details in that stamp image. Absolutely love this image, the images in the stamp set. So now that I've got that portion done, I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm going to stamp the portion that is for embellishing the card. So we're gonna go back to the Granny Apple Green, and now I have this on a clear block. I'm going to tap, tap, tap that ink. I am going to stamp on this side. I'm going to rotate it and stamp on this side. Now, I didn't meet up, but that is totally okay because I have a solution. Every time you stamp, it looks a little bit different. That's okay. We want unique cards, two of the same cards. So don't worry about if they don't meet up. Now I'm going to take this other greenery piece. I'm going to tap, tap, tap the ink, stamp off on my pad of paper. Then I'm going to stamp it and stamp it again. I'm just using this one as some fill-in for the sprig. Now I'm done with the Granny Apple Green, so I'm going to close that up. And we're going to go back to the Highland Heather. And I'm going to tap, tap to get ink coverage here. I'm going to stamp 3 flowers. And these are going to carry over into the sprig, and that's what I want for my design. And then what I'm going to do is stamp one more piece with the Highland Heather before I close the ink pad, which I already did. Take the sentiment. There's 4 sentiments in the stamp set. I'm going to take the one that says thinking of you. I almost said inking of you. That's my team, Stampin' Up! Team name. Thinking of you. Stamp it towards the edge, a piece of scrap cardstock. Now I'm done with stamping everything. So I'm just going to move all the ink pads off to the side here. Quick clean them with a Stampin' Chamois. The chamois is an amazing must-have tool, and it's great for cleaning your stamps. So now I'm going to take the Everyday Label Punch. I'm going to take this image, and I'm going to go like this, and I know I'm upside down, but I don't need to read what I've got here. I'm just looking for alignment. I want to get the of you close to the edge and kind of get it centered in here and punch this out. So this is needed for the card assembly. And these pieces. So once this is dried a little bit, what I like to do is add some texture to it. You don't want to do it right after you stamp. The ink pad or the ink dries really quick, but you want to make sure it's dry, because if you put it in an embossing folder and close it up, you might transfer the ink to the folder. It will clean off, but just make sure you give it a couple minutes to dry. Place this in, run it through the texture folder, and it will come out looking like this. And it just adds this fun texture to it, which is a subtle texture, but it just adds a little bit more to the project. So now what I'm going to do is assemble the card. So for this card base, we need a piece of Highland Heather that is 5.5 by 8.5. I have this scored already at 4 1/4. I use the Simply Scoring tool to do that. And so I've got that already scored. And now what I'm going to do is take a piece of Gorgeous Grape. This is a great coordinating color with Highland Heather. And this piece of Gorgeous Grape is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Before I do any of my assembly, I am going to take, and looks like I might have the die over at my die cutting machine, but I've already got this piece done. I have taken a die, placed it on here, and then ran that through the machine to, oh, here it is. Sorry about that. So back to the video here. So place this on your 4 by 5 1/4 Gorgeous Grape. Now, if you are using a different floral color, if you have lovely lipstick, or that might have retired, a different color, your favorite floral color, just use coordinating colors and place, so back to whatever color cardstock you're using, place this on right in the center, run it through your die cutting machine, because we want to take a scalped rectangle out of the center. So the best way to determine what size you're going to use for your scalp rectangle is just take this piece and place it over the image to know that this is the size that Terry has planned for this to layer on. Anyway, hopefully I'm making sense, lady. I am starting to ramble, but let me get back to the project. So now that we have this cut out, we have these two pieces, and that's going to help our assembly. So let's get started. So I'm going to take this piece that is for the outside and apply some adhesive. And then I'm going to look at opposite corners. And I'm looking at all 4 sides, but looking at opposite corners, and looking for even spacing on all 4 sides, and then I'm going to drop that into place and burnish it. Now this is going to be layered onto the Highland Heather card base. This card has no ribbon. The other 3 cards I shared with you do have ribbon. This one does not. So again, I'm going to look at all 3 sides here, look for, or all 4 sides, look for even spacing and apply that. Okay, so these two get adhered together. So I'm going to use some adhesive to do that, and watch opposite corners. And this is trimmed just so it fits right inside the stitched area. This is going to be adhered with dimensionals. I'm going to put 6 dimensionals, 1 in each corner, and then I'm going to put 2 in the middle. I'm going to take the Take Your Pick tool, and this is a great tool for picking out the backings, and it also has many other purposes. You can purchase an add-on, which is a die cutting brush, which I leave on the end. And with the Take Your Pick tool, you get a little putty to pick up embellishments. So back to this, we're going to be using that in a second. So now I'm going to look at this card and just place this where I feel it looks best. Sometimes my borders extend further than other times, but that's okay. That's the beauty of stamping. Each card is unique and different. So I'm going to place that right like so. Now the sentiment that I stamped, where did that disappear to? I just had it, here we go. This one was stamped and punched. I'm going to use just a regular adhesive, and then I'm going to just tuck that underneath that raised image for the sentiment. The stamped piece for the inside gets adhered to the inside of the card. If you wanted to stamp an additional sentiment or write your sentiment in here, you could do that before or after you adhere it. So that's the inside of the card. Now, last piece for this is to embellish. I'm going to use the basic pearls to do that. You get 3 different size pearls. You get 20 larger ones, 20 medium, and 100 of these little ones. So I am going to take full advantage of all those little ones by using the Take Your Pick tool. And the first thing I'm going to do is place a little pearl in the center of each flower. And that's what I love about having all these extra little ones. They are perfect for this little floral image, and they just add so much. Now, I'm going to be adding more to this area, and I'll explain to you how I determine how many and where I place those. So first, one in the center of each flower just adds so much to that. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see that my image here did not meet up. So all I'm going to do is take a pearl and camouflage that. Now by adding that, you can't tell it didn't meet up. I'm going to add at least 3 just randomly outside the image. And I'll put one down here. Now I'm just going to look, and each time I stamp this it's a little different, but I also am going to add just a couple more wherever it kind of camouflages something, just to fill it in a little bit. And that is this card. Very similar supplies and design as the other cards I shared with you, but this one is stepped up with some additional tools. So if you found me via YouTube, look in the comments section for a direct link to my blog post where you'll find the supply list measurements for this project. There'll be a PDF tutorial you can download, along with a tutorial that will have all 3 of those previous cards I shared with you. I would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click the red box under the video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed creating this project with me. Stay safe and stay healthy.